It's a new year, but the same old Rays bullpen is back. I'm walking on sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tampa Bay Sports Daily and this very first episode of the first season of Rays Recap. Today, we're breaking down the Rays opening day. Oh my goodness, I cannot talk. Opening day game against the St. Louis Cardinals, and boy, oh boy, was it a doozy. Rays lose 7-9, 9-7, whichever way you want to put it, to the St. Louis Cardinals on opening day, and at the start, it shouldn't have even been that close. I mean, the Rays at one point were up 7-1, and then by the next inning, we're down 9-7. We'll get to it later, but it was wild to watch. One of the best games I've watched in a while, but it was just tough to watch them blow a game like that. But hopping in the first inning, Rays build a chance. Yandy Diaz gets a nice infield single, and then Junior Caminero is walked, which I expect a lot this season. We'll talk about it today, that he got in this video, that he got walked 3 times, and I expect it to happen a lot this year. People are actually taking him seriously now after a 45 homer, 100 plus RBI season last year. And it was like this for the first 3 innings. Both teams got threats and couldn't score. And then in the bottom of the 4th inning, J.J. Weatherholt hits a 421-foot home run to dead center field, and it made it 1-0. This was a great home run. Congratulations to Weatherholt on his first career home run. It was a nice shot to center field, and it was a good ball too. It wasn't a bad pitch by Rasmussen either. I don't think it was outside, and just he was able to get to it, and that was just very, very impressive in my opinion, that he was able to get to it and able to hit a home run on it. But then in the top of the 5th inning, it seemed like the Rays tied the game at first after Carson Williams hit a home run, but it turned out to be a foul ball. But then they still ended up tying the game in the top of the 5th. Jonathan Aranda, who we've heard that before, hits a nice home run and ties the game up at 1-1. This was a nice home run to right field, and Rays tied it up. Jonathan Aranda, good home run. And then got through the bottom of the 5th, and then in the 6th inning, the Rays explode. They just get man on base after on base after man on base, exploding, scoring 6 runs, going up 7-1. Simpson had a couple runs. DeLuca had a couple runs. Couple more people had a couple runs. Nick Fortes had a couple runs. Even Ben Williamson got a couple runs in, and that made it 7-1. And right there, and then I'm like, holy crap, this Rays offense might be underrated, and Drew Rasmussen was dealing, but Kevin Cash decided to take Drew Rasmussen out after how long the top of the 6th went. And I see people on X and social media complaining about this decision, but when you have a starting pitcher sit for 25 minutes in the 5th, 6th inning, it's hard to get him ramped back up for 1 or 2 innings. And they put Ian Seymour in, who was one of the better bullpen arms last year, and he just could not find a out to save his life. Balls down the line, a couple bloop hits, made it 7-5, and then Griffin Jacks came in, and all of a sudden the game was tied, and then a 2-run homer gave the Cardinals the lead in the 6th inning, and the Cardinals, after the Rays put up a 6th spot, put up an 8th spot, making it 9-7, and it was just tough to watch. As a fan of a team, it's always tough to watch a team blow a game like that. We saw it multiple times this year, and it's just tough because it's not what you want to see in the very first game of the season. You want to see it maybe later on, like an unlucky break. But if you see in the first game of the season, you think it's going to be something that is going to consistently happen and consistently go on. Rays get a couple more threats throughout the game, especially in the 9th inning. Get the bases loaded. Junior Caminero is walked again, and it's Richie Palacio striking out on a great splitter. Incredible splitter from Ryan Stanek, who was on the Rays back in 2018, 2019. Incredible pitch, I can't even lie. And the Rays lose 9-7 in what was a great opening day game. I cannot lied. Cardinals played incredible and got back in it, and all credit goes to them. It really doesn't impact the Rays that much as it is early on and it is an NL team, but you gotta really push more. You gotta fight a bit more, and I didn't see that. The pitching staff didn't look ready, and from spring training it didn't look like they were ready. They were giving up a lot of runs and a lot of big hits, and it's just tough. And it's gonna take a couple weeks, This 9-game road trip is going to be tough for them. They got 3 games in St. Louis, 3 games in Milwaukee, and then 3 games in Cincinnati, and it's just tough. They haven't played well in Cincinnati. They don't play well in Milwaukee, and they don't play well in St. Louis. It's been a couple years since they had been in St. Louis, and I see fans already jumping off the ship, and just to kind of recap and finish off the video, I always see fans jumping off the ship. It is game 1 of a 162-game season, and I was including myself. I was pissed off. I posted on my personal account, this was a bad first loss, and it's going to be a tough season. We knew this heading in, that after they traded some of their best players, like Brandon Lau and Shane Baz. Congratulations, Brandon Lau got his first 2 home runs with the Pirates today. But after they traded them away, we knew it was going to be a tough season because it's just tough. When you want to look positive and look at the best outcomes, but this team doesn't have those, if you know what I'm saying. They got a lot of up-and-coming players like Carson Williams, even Junior Cameron, Jonathan Aranda. These players haven't completely finished themselves off yet. Maybe in June, Shane McClanahan can finally get going again, and we can finally see that team, but it's going to take a while, and it's going to be a learning curve for this team, and that's why I don't think we should be jumping on Kevin Cash or anyone yet, because it's going to be a learning curve for all these young players. But that is going to do it for a breakdown of the Rays and Cardinals. I'll have a breakdown for each game of this series, and then we'll go into a recap of the series itself. But if you guys like these game-by-game recaps, I'll include them. We'll have our Lightning Kraken recap out tomorrow. I'm sorry I didn't want to do one on the Lightning and the Wild. I had a test that night, and I couldn't even watch the game. So that's kind of the upcoming schedule. So tomorrow will be the Lightning Kraken game, and then Saturday, Sunday will be the rest of the Cardinal and the Rays series. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video, and Rays up.